I'm only getting audio on the right side. I fixed it. Just needed a little blow. Like a blow from your mouth, not in your nose. Oh, God. All right. Hey, you guys. Welcome to Tiny House Customs. I'm Dan. All right. So in my last video, I said I was going to be making the raised panels for my kitchen cabinets. These things. I need a couple tools and stuff like that. So I'm not going to be doing that in this video. But since I have decided to change these to raised panels, and I'm probably going to be using poplar because poplar paints so well, obviously I'm going to do a little more research on that. I'm not going to be painting the walnut because it's so expensive. It's something that should be exposed and beautified. I need to do something with it. I don't want to waste the wood that I have, and I think it might as well just use it. I bought this from like a lumber distributor, basically, not Home Depot or Lowe's. And this is all sold as like 4/4 or 8/4, and it's all roughs on. So when I go and get that stuff, I had them plane both sides and straight line it so that I can, at that point I can work with it and make it into a product that I need. So these are all ripped to random widths. And then after that, I ran it through the router and I created a tongue and groove profile. Can you see it? It's a tongue and it's a groove. And then I put a chamfer on it. There's a chamfer, the slight on the sides. What I'm gonna do in this video is make my bed frame. But unfortunately, my bed frame doesn't need any of the tongue and groove or the chamfer. Might put a chamfer in it. We'll see. We're going to see how this project goes. But I don't need the tongue and groove, so I'm going to cut all that off. I'm going to be ordering one of those, you know, mail order brides. No, beds. Mail order beds. Not brides. Beds. And I looked up the dimensions, and it was 60 by 80 inches. 80 inches is obviously the length or the height. And then 60 inches is the width. I didn't really do any like amazing drawings, but I need 1, 2, 3 pieces that run like that, and then I need as many of these cross members as I possibly can get. Once all this is done, I will assemble it in the bedroom and put the new mattress in there. I gotta take the old mattress out. That's gonna be a funny video. I'm gonna film that just as its own little video because it's gonna be a pain in the ass to get that old mattress out of there. Because it's a spring mattress. I'm getting one of the memory foam things. God, I need a drink. So I did just some quick math to figure out. Obviously, I'm going to need those 3 that are vertical. We're going to say vertical and horizontal. It'll make it easier. So I got the 3 pieces at 80 inches that are going to be vertical. I'm going to use those long ones for that. And then the horizontal pieces are going to be 60 inches. I'm going to use these shorter ones. I did some rough math on a calculator. If I take 80 inches and divide it by 16, which is how many short pieces I have, I will have 5 inches. That means I'll have a 2.5 inch piece, a 2.5 inch gap, 2.5 inch piece, 2.5 inch gap, and so on throughout the whole thing. So it'll work perfectly. So what I did is set my table saw up for 3 inches. I'm going to put the groove side on the fence and rip them at 3 inches. And then I'll flip them around and I'll rip them at 2.5 inches. Just run it, run it, run it, run it, and hopefully not cut a finger off. Jinxing myself. Oh, me right in the I'm just going to rip all this shit real quick, but I ripped the tongue off of it. Many hours of work went into making that, and I'm going to just throw it away. Make it expensive firewood. I'm bleeding every project. God, it smells so good. It smells like, it literally smells like beef, like good cooked beef. So I ripped most of these down to that thing. You know what, 2 inches or whatever? There was 2 of them that had some crappy stuff on the tongue side. So I just ripped them a little wider, and then I'll be able to get my 2.5 inches. So I got 6 more pieces that are like 10 feet long. I'm going to figure out. I want the vertical pieces. Stay with me. You follow me? The vertical pieces. I want those to be wider than the horizontal pieces. Somebody asked me the other day why I am cutting and I look like I'm like terrified, like I'm about to die. I squint like this when I'm cutting. I can still see, and it prevents sawdust from going into my eyes. I know, wear safety glasses. Shut up. I've done this for years. It still doesn't give me any excuse not to wear safety glasses, but that's like how I prevent sawdust from going in my eyes. So it's not like a scared look. It's a safety look. Oh, the hate that's going to come from that. This is a small pro tip for you. So on the blade of any type of circular saw, there's teeth, obviously, and the teeth on the blade, there's half of them are on one side and half are on the other side. So if you look at the blade, you can see if it's angled this way, it's far over this way. If it's angled this way, it's over on this side. So if you got a shitty table saw like me, you're going to measure on teeth that are favoring this side. Drunk Dan, yeah, we're just a cutting hair. It's actually a thing that exists. Let's go a little more. Why are you being bashful? So I'm gonna run these 16 pieces through the table saw and waste a little bit more wood. Money, just money. Who gives a shit? So I ran all the horizontal pieces through the router, put a, like an 1/8 inch, is that called a chamfer, on the top of those pieces. So what I'm doing real quick is just running them through the sanders. Doing a belt sander on the side that I cut because I got some saw marks, and then hitting this real quick with the belt sander, and then hitting the whole thing with the orbital sander just to smooth everything out and make it feel nice and soft and fluffy, like teddy bears. I'm making teddy bears out of wood. The vertical pieces I cut as wide as possible. I think those ended up being like 3 inches, maybe. Yeah, that's 1, 2, 3, maybe a quarter, 3 1/4. So a little wider because these are going to be sitting on the floor or on the. Yeah, that's what that's called. It's sitting on the floor. And I didn't do any chamfers on this, just straight up. I'm going to sand them real quick, soften the edges on it, and then next shot we're going to jump into finishing these pieces and getting them ready for install. So obviously, since finishing wood is like pretty boring, I've already put 2 coats of General Finishes Armor Seal onto these pieces. Basically what I'm doing is applying it, letting it sit for 5 to 20 minutes, always depending on the weather. If it's hot, obviously it's going to be drying quicker, so whatever. Let it sit for a little bit, and then I'm taking just a clean white rag and wiping off whatever's still sitting on top, and slowly building up a finish on these. And I think it's turning out pretty nice. This is a satin finish, so it's not going to have that high gloss. They do sell this Armor Seal in a high gloss. I like satin. I think it looks a little nicer. But basically I've been pouring it into a little Petri dish. Is that what that's called? Oh, this is a little... See, I didn't seal it good, so it's kind of chunky. Hey, General Finishes, if you want to send me like another gallon or 2 of that, I'll use it. Since I didn't seal that lid tight, it ended up like crystallizing on top. So to kind of like break down some of that whatever's happening in there, I'm using a little mineral spirits. General Finishes says not to dilute any of their finishes, but I'm Dan. Maybe like a 50-50 blend of that, you know? And I've made a very watery finish. So I'm just going to slap this on. It's like water, so you can't put too much on, I don't think. Just slap it on. I'm finishing both sides because the bottom won't be seen. So if it ends up with some marks from sitting on the on these thingies, whatever they're called, it's fine. So I did sand between the first and second coat. I'm not sanding anymore because I'm just trying to build that finish up, and it's coming out pretty smooth. Especially if you wipe it off, then you're not getting those spots and stuff like sawdust or whatever in the air that lands on it, the dust. It gives it a cleaner finish when you wipe it off. So no more sanding, no more scuffing, any of that stuff. You could if you wanted to, but it's a bed frame. It's really going to be covered up, so I think I'm already doing too much. So I'm just going to finish these up. I might do, this is coat 3, I might do 4 or 5 coats, and then when we come back to this project, I'm going to assemble it in the bedroom and put that memory foam mattress on top. Oh yeah, I can't wait for a new mattress. But I think I'm going to end the video here because I'm not ready for this in my bedroom. So I guess we'll pick up on this project in like a few weeks, months, who knows? But thanks for watching. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe. If you like what you saw, hit that thumbs up. I got a dusty lens. If you have some great knowledge that you would like to share with me, you can always leave it down in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching. Alright, I'm done.